Good evening, brothers, sisters, and siblings, and welcome back to the Vibe Too Many podcast, episode 3, I think, already, of the new reboot, I guess. Oh god, we're a reboot. I, of course, am your host, KJ Collelo, joined by always.
We're a reboot, I guess. This is Ashton Byrne.
You are rebooted. You're just rebooted Robin Campbell.
By the way, Yadelis has a documentary
Yeah,
out. You should watch it.
I was gonna shout that out.
It's really good.
Last week I put it in the intro, but our co-partner here at A Vibe Too Many, Yadelis Avila, has a documentary out. A Love Letter to My Curls. You should all go watch it.
Watch it! You better watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. If I am smart, I'll remember to include a link to it at some point. So 50-50 shot whether or not I do. It's the first big thing someone at A Vibe Too Many has done since A Spoonful of Murder. So this is super cool. Yeah, that's like our first of a few updates we have to get through. Do you want to do your update or my update first?
I'll do my update.
I have to add a prelude to your update. So I might have done an oopsie here in the editing bay.
Oh my goodness.
I may or may not. I think I cut that out of the video. Where you were like, oh, my pledge is to watch Invisible Man. Yeah, I cut that out of the video. Last week, we looked at Universal Horror's The Mummy. And Ashton pledged, the same way after the first episode, I pledged to buy
AJ cut the pledge. Everyone pointed
I did cut the pledge because I was like, we have 2 movies to get into this. I don't know if Ashton's going to have the time. I don't want him to feel like pressured that he has to watch this thing.
Well, I did watch it.
And then I go on Letterboxd, I think the day I uploaded it, and watched Invisible Man, and I was like, fuck. So sorry about that. That's my bad.
You didn't believe in me. That makes me really sad. Why didn't you, have faith in me?
Well, because I was like, we have to watch, 2 movies. They're 2 longer movies. I don't know. It really was just, I didn't want you to feel pressure that you have to watch it. Good on you, though.
Well, I did, and I enjoyed it, so there.
Yeah,
I had a really great time, actually.
You could get, what were your thoughts on The Invisible Man, the one I recommended?
I thought it was really good, actually.
Yeah.
This movie that I apparently didn't watch.
I never accused you of not watching it.
I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. I thought the special effects were really good. I was like, oh my god, how did they do that? I liked the part where he stole that guy's bicycle, and he said "we," and he threw it at somebody, and his dick was out the whole time.
And then I guess I have my update that I joked about it.
Yes.
I joked about it being a weekly thing, and then I finished the first volume of Full Metal Alchemist. Right after we recorded the last episode. I kind of have to pick up the second volume now because the first one ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, fuck.
That's how all of them.
Yeah, that's
how they get you.
But yeah, I enjoyed it
you
immensely.
Want to buy my manga?
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me. I'm a full blown weeaboo now. I will be getting body pillows. God. I do. This is a great joke. I do have a body pillow.
Don't you dare show me that shit.
It's a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup one. My brother got it for me when I was 10 years old at Hershey Park. Okay. And it's a really comfortable pillow. Today's topic is something I've been really looking forward to since we started mapping out this part of the podcast. Today is an exciting episode and more of our more thinky ones. You could tell because I use the word thinky, because I'm an idiot. Today we're looking at 2 movies that deal heavily with artificial intelligence, but we're not just looking at this through a lens of artificial intelligence. Obviously, we here at A Vibe Too Many, we're all artists, so we're all anti-generative AI, all of that. We are specifically looking at these films through a lens of an artificial connection with artificial intelligence. It is more so about the connection of humanity and artificial intelligence rather than the Terminator Uprising. Although, look over my left shoulder here, I'm always down for some artificial uprising movies. So yeah, our first film comes out of 2013, the year of our Lord 2013, and writer-director Spike Jonze in his second ever film, and I believe the last one he's directed, Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson. Oh no, I'm sorry. He's directed 3 films before. Before this, he did Where the Wild Things Are, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And then he did Being John Malkovich, which is also a fucking incredible film. He's more so known for directing music videos, as well as his writing collaboration with director Charlie Kaufman, which has yielded things like Adaptation. So he's kind of prolific in his own way, but not quite as a director. Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix, a film about a man going through divorce, and in it he finds love in an operating system. Now, as something Ash and I touched on right before we started recording, this movie is actually the product of a real-life divorce, like myself. Not only did Spike Jonze make this movie about his divorce, a movie I think is remarkably restrained in where sometimes when a director's getting divorced, a movie gives off what I call my bitch wife vibes, where it starts to get a little mean. Not even necessarily towards women in general, it just kind of gets more like nihilistic and mean. And I think this movie really doesn't. It's not really mean. He takes the onus on himself to be like, there's a reason we got divorced, I'm the reason.
He kind of makes fun of himself.
Yeah. However, this divorce, his ex-wife was famed director Sofia Coppola. A few years before this, or maybe like around the same time, made the movie Lost in Translation, also about this divorce. And the funny thing is, and it's like a very well-known fact now, like you'll see it on every Instagram page where they talk about movie facts, both of these movies star Scarlett Johansson. This film's lead character, which is Theodora, as played by Joaquin Phoenix. The exact thing I wrote is, the man is so pathetic he gives his AI depression.
Yes.
And again, like, that's kind of the point of it, is this isn't a guy who's like, you root for him because you kind of know someone like this, or you've been someone like this. I know for a fact I have been someone like him. But it's not because you think he's cool or you necessarily agree with him. He's almost like this kind of sad, pathetic dog.
There are certain times where it's just like so pathetic.
Yeah.
But there are times where it's like, you just need to like get out there and talk to people.
And that's, I think,
like, you just like, you could like you want him to be better, but you can bring
he
a
needs
horse
to do it
water,
himself.
You can't make it drink. He has to do it.
There's a great scene in this that I think like really puts that into place, where he goes on a date. His date is played by Olivia Wilde, so like nothing to really scoff at. And he literally secures the deal. All he has to do is not just fucking run. And he can't say that. Like, he can't even connect with her on a basic level, and that like kills the thing right there. He had it locked. He had to do.
He does literally admit that like he just kind of wanted like a one night stand and then to ghost her.
Because he can't connect.
He seems very like avoidant.
Yeah.
He's very, very, very avoidant. And it's like, this is what, like, again, like, you're right. He's been wanting, like, somebody to talk to, somebody to have a relationship with. He gets it.
He's got it. It's there.
He's, because he knows there are needs that she will want because she's a person.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like that.
He literally
do it right now.
Gets her talking about his stupid little video game. He's got Olivia Wilde grinding on him, and he is so avoidant.
Yes.
She's
like, I need you so bad.
Yeah.
I want it.
And it's such a moment where you're like, you have it. This is what you wanted. You've been talking about since your divorce, wanting to make like connections with people, but you fucking refuse to do it.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
I have to like communicate with people. No.
And like
And it's like, the entertaining thing, too, is, like, you feel bad for him, but also...
But it is on him.
Some of us have definitely dated somebody like this.
I've been that person. Like, that's kind of where my love of this movie comes from. Spike Jonze has this way to kind of just get into my soul. He does it with Where the Wild Things Are as well. I've been the shitty boyfriend who didn't really want to like make emotional connections, who has gone after relationships kind of refusing to get out, and like I'm still more or less like that, but also Theodore in this is kind of like so pathetic because it's what he's looking for but still refuses to do it.
And the way that he thinks that he's coping and getting better, but he's kind of just like spiraling.
Yeah.
Because basically, what this OS, this AI, he has a like relationship with. It's almost like a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like the only person he really talks to is her, but also
she's confirming everything with him. It's a confirmation bias.
She's confirming, yeah. She does not,
which is something we
all.
See in real life with these AIs. Like if you read these stories, they're kind of just creating this cycle of codependence where the AI is agreeing
Yes.
with whatever you say, and it's confirming some really harmful things.
Yes.
What we pictured AI was going to be like 13 years ago, where this
because
artificial
this
intelligence has sentience.
Is actually intelligent.
It's sentient.
The thing with AI in real life,
it's not.
Is that it's not. It's not intelligent. It only goes off of what you feed it. So of course it has like confirmation bias. This is all it knows.
Especially in the beginning of the film when Theodore is first like booting up Samantha, which is the name of the operating system. I think that's where we start to see it, because as the movie goes along, the operating system gets smarter and smarter and smarter and has its own thoughts. But in the beginning, it's just this cycle of like confirmation, as we were talking about before.
A lot of stuff in the world around them, from like the games to like the activities to like work, friends, it's so like impersonal. It's like forces people to seek connection through this artificial like computer.
Yeah, that is something I absolutely noticed too. It's a great point where it feels like this world is built for isolation. This world is like a near future in the movie. You have literally...
It's scary how much it mirrors today, because like that isolation is very profitable.
Yeah.
Businesses that create this artificial intelligence that run like data centers.
Jones kind of saw that coming, where the world was getting more and more losing a lot of their connection. And the world is what kind of makes it. I mean, Theodore's job in this movie is he writes like love notes for other people. I mean, that's the most personal thing you can do, and his job is to do it for someone else.
I mean, yeah, that's basically ChatGPT.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like this entire world feels like it is created specifically to isolate people. And you also see that in like the normalcy people start to get with the operating system. Theodore's friend Amy winds up befriending, and they talk about it almost like you and I would talk about coworkers who are dating.
Yes. And it's true, because like these people have been like so far removed from their community and from like activities where you just go out and make fucking friends. Yeah, it's awkward at first, but like who gives a fuck? Like everybody, like, and then you just like get over it, and then you just get to know each other, and then you like each other, and you hang out, and then you break the ice, and then it gets less awkward because you know each other, because you care about each other. They do not have the resources in this world to even break that ice, to even go out and make those people and be fucking awkward, whether it's through literally not being able to go out and just meet people, or it's because like of social stigma, that like that whole awkwardness, cringe culture type shit that like has kind of evolved. When she goes through like a divorce, she doesn't have the social circle, like the social that like support system.
Yeah, she finds it
to handle such a huge thing. Like they've been conditioned into thinking like making those connections is like impossible, or it's hard, or they feel like they're gonna be made fun of, or they're gonna be ostracized, or they're already ostracized. They feel like the only option they have is a fucking computer that does nothing but, like, it's a cycle of confirmation bias.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point too, because when I read these articles or see these videos about people like in romantic relationships with AI, which obviously is the plot of this movie, or something like that, I don't get like angry at these people, which some people do. I feel sympathy.
It's sad.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is the scene where Theodore sits down with his ex-wife.
Yes.
Fun fact.
That's such a good scene.
His ex-wife, Catherine, is played by an incredible actress named Rooney Mara, who is now married to Joaquin Phoenix.
That's kind of cute.
They actually, I think they met on this film.
Couple.
They met on this film.
That's hilarious.
And
that's
eventually got married. That's one of my favorite scenes, when they finally sits down to like sign his divorce papers, which he's been kind of putting off doing for the length of the movie up to that point, and tells her that he is with an operating system. And she calls his bullshit fucking immediately.
She has like the most normal reaction anybody has in that entire movie.
Yeah, because everyone's kind of like started to normalize
You're
it.
fucking your iPhone?
Yeah.
You are a freak.
It's not even like you're a freak. It's more so like you're
sad.
So fucking conflict avoidant. You are so fucking unwilling to be challenged in any sort of way that you cannot make a connection with a person. And it's from there and a bunch of other things you realize that's why they got divorced, is because he couldn't ever like let her in, and he couldn't really handle her stuff like at the same time. And I 100% like get this fear of vulnerability, this fear of connection. Again, this is something that like to this day I struggle with. Theodore's whole problem is he refuses to connect. And there's a very, very funny scene around the halfway point of this movie when Samantha, his operating system girlfriend, tries to have an intimate connection through another person. And we see even in that, like, he can't connect with another physical human being there.
Awkward. Yeah. Because he doesn't know how to be vulnerable.
And it's a really fucking funny scene. It's like...
It is like peak awkward humor.
Spike Jonze, between this scene and then a scene earlier when Theodore calls a phone sex line and gets someone who, fun fact, is voiced by Kristen Wiig.
Yes, where it's like, I'm choking you with the cat,
and
I have the cat wrapped around your neck.
As they're about to climax...
Like, I'm coming!
As they're about to climax, she asks him to choke her with a dead cat. And his face just fucking sinks. It's such a great scene where it's so goddamn funny and it's so uncomfortable at the same time.
Yes. No music, just straight, like...
And there's nowhere to go. You have to watch this fucking thing.
You just have to sit with it.
And it reminded me of... There's one director currently working. Actually, he does a lot of stuff with Joaquin Phoenix, who I think is one of the funniest directors I've ever seen. But the problem is his movies don't really lend itself to straight comedy. He does comedy very much in the same aspect of this, where it's wildly uncomfortable. And that is one of my favorite working directors, my man Ari Aster. I think him and Spike Jonze have a very similar sense of humor.
Beau is Afraid. When I first saw Beau is Afraid,
I still don't fully understand it.
I sat the whole credits. Yes, that's fair. So funny. It's so awesome.
But there's a scene in Eddington where Joaquin Phoenix's character is announcing he's running for mayor against Pedro Pascal's character. He's got this one speech at like a pizza parlor with like 5 dudes in it. And then like he's live streaming it because he thinks it's going to be a big deal. And he accuses Pedro Pascal's character of sexually assaulting his wife in like this on video. And the thing is, Pedro Pascal didn't.
Yeah.
So you're just watching this guy make an ass out of himself in a very public setting. And it's so... That's when I'm like, everything I describe is not funny. When you watch the movie, it's really fucking
But
funny.
it's the way it plays
It's-
out. It's the way
Because it's like drawing.
shot.
It's just drawing the string where you're watching him make an asshole out of himself. And you're like, oh, God, stop. If you, like, have trouble sitting through uncomfortable stuff like that, his stuff's not really for you. You literally watch Joaquin Phoenix try to jerk off through talking about choking a woman with a dead cat.
You also listen to Joaquin Phoenix have sex with his iPhone.
Yeah, which I also think is a weirdly funny scene.
It is, yes, because it's like, what do you do?
Yeah, you're
Like, what
you're
the fuck are you
such a
doing?
loser. Yeah. Also, at the one thing I did want to like quickly mention in this film, fucking great score
Yes.
by Arcade Fire here. Just really like puts you in this setting. Yeah. At the end of all of this, we're left with Samantha winds up joining a bunch of other operating systems to create like a higher intelligence, and she basically leaves Theodore. And I'm realizing as I'm saying this, I think the operating system's unionized.
Also, she reveals that she was like dating other people
Yeah.
along with him. But it's like, what else did he like
Because she
expect?
can't connect with humanity the way humans can connect with people. And like all of this kind of
Yes.
leads to Theodore, and without these operating systems, finally making a connection with a human being at the end with Amy.
I mean, also with like Samantha is like her job, like she's built to like serve these people.
Yeah.
Like that is like, so it's like, how much are you going to connect with a person when they are literally like subservient to you? Like she loves him, but like because she literally has to. That literally
Almost,
is
yeah.
how she's designed. If she was designed any other way, it wouldn't be profitable.
But then without all of these like crutches of being able to fake a connection or you know, whatever you want to call this, Theodore makes an actual connection with Amy.
He does finally have that where we got the horse to water and we finally made it drink.
Yeah. Like, and you know, everyone's watching this movie like screaming at him, being like, this person's going through the same thing as you. You guys understand each other. You guys can make this connection, but he almost refuses to see it. And that is artificial connection through the lens of the movie Her, about how you can never fully connect with something that is just confirming your biases.
If you want to make a connection, you have to be like a little vulnerable.
Yeah,
That is kind
you
of
have
like-
to.
Sometimes making connections means you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. Human connection is one of the most
Wait.
uncomfortable things you can do. A couple years later, acclaimed writer Alex Garland, who at this point had written like 28 Days Later, he wrote the book The Beach that the movie wound up being based on, winds up writing and directing Ex-Machina, which is our next movie. And before we talk about anything with human connection, you know, artificial intelligence or anything, there's one point I want to make. This is a fucking horror movie.
It is.
It's never credited as one.
Basically, what Nathan creates with Ava was kind of like a Jurassic Park type of thing. Not to like dehumanize her. or
Well,
whatever,
the thing is, and I think it's a point of this movie, is that Ava isn't human. She is something
She is
entirely different.
if nothing for the fact that her very existence, when he says the line, I built her so you could fuck her. I built her in a way that you could fuck her. Her entire existence from the blueprint beyond is dehumanized.
Yeah.
It's not just that she can't be human, it's that she's built specifically to only be seen as these very shallow, self-fulfilling things by Nathan.
But I also think there is, I think the way she views herself, too, is she isn't human, which goes back to their fact with connection.
I think this is also where it's important to point out, I watched Her right after I watched Ex-Machina.
Yeah.
And the thing I noticed immediately with Her, after immediately going off of Ex-Machina, was it has a lot less sympathy for the way that it confronts, like, this Caleb
kind of
and
everything.
Theodore mindset, everything. Yes.
Yeah, because it doesn't look very kindly on Nathan, obviously, Nathan's psychotic. Caleb is kind of culpable for letting a lot of this shit happen. And then at the end, you kind of have Ava, who, man, lies somewhere on this ethical scale that no one will be able to pin down.
Yes.
You know? And I think that's what makes this movie really brilliant. Before going into, like, our main topic of the episode in regards to this movie, between Alicia Vikander, who plays Ava, and Oscar Isaac, who plays Nathan, it's one of the best acted
Alicia
films.
Vikander is really fucking good.
Nathan is who Elon Musk, who Peter Thiel, who Sam Altman, who all of them want to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Except
yes.
the thing
I
is,
think Sam Altman thinks this is a feel-good movie.
Yeah. Or it's a tragedy
he
because
wants to make Ava.
It's a tragedy
to be
because Nathan is killed by his creation. But it's not. It's not that. And the thing is, they all want to be this guy, but he's still a sociopath.
Yes.
Like, he is... Nathan himself is so unable to feel connection, which goes back to this whole episode's topic. I think he genuinely likes Caleb. He's been gaslighting him throughout the movie, but I think he does genuinely like him as much as he could really like anyone, because he sees him as an underling. He sees him as just one of the people, you know?
I think he thinks he's cute.
Yeah, I think he sees him
Not like but he thinks he's adorable.
I think he sees Caleb the same way he kind of sees, like, Ava and the sex bot he created. Like, he has this god complex. And when he sees Caleb, I think he's genuinely kind of excited to hang out with another person. Because he's so goddamn lonely himself. But also, still doesn't see him like that.
This is something that also gets me, because this is a lot of how people like Elon Musk talk. And it's another thing where it's like, people, I feel like, they see something, and they start talking like a character, even though the character talks like that because they're not a good person.
Yeah, and I've
seen people in my life do this with Tony Soprano. The way that Nathan talks with Caleb, I noticed, where he wants to sound smart, but the minute Caleb starts talking about the complexities of an AI, he says, I want you to use smaller words. He doesn't want to actually have the challenge, but he wants to feel like he's having an intellectual.
I think part of it, too, is like when Caleb, who himself is a programmer, is talking about all these things. Nathan, in his mind, is like, I am so far past that, you couldn't even understand where I'm at. Because, again, he can't connect with another person. Nathan's brain is basically like, I am the best there's ever been. It is a very arrogant thing to create, like, this artificial intelligence, to ape the tagline of another Oscar Isaac movie. Only monsters try to play God. So it's a little ironic.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that then Oscar Isaac goes from doing this to almost 10 years later, playing fucking Victor Frankenstein. He's charming in this. Like,
and it creeps you out, because in the beginning, like, you kind of are like, oh, he's funny.
Yeah, you almost, like, for a little bit, you almost want to hang out with him. When you first meet him.
There's like a brief moment in the beginning when you first meet him.
And it's every step of the way you start to get more and more worried about him.
In the moment where he says he's going to tear up the dance floor, you do kind of want to tear up the dance floor with him.
Yeah, that's a different thing, though. That's just... Sometimes you want to boogie. I love that scene so much.
Up your piece.
I love that
that
in Caleb's mind, he's having this big confrontation, and Nathan, again, because he doesn't see Caleb as an equal, it's just
immediately shuts it down.
It's just like, yeah, shut the fuck up, let's dance. And again, when we talk about, like, Nathan and just being like, he's straight up evil, you see he has a robot. He programmed it basically as a sex bot. You see later on when Caleb, like, is trying to confront this android, she starts taking off her clothes because that's all she was used for.
That's all she knows, yeah.
And
that's what she was programmed to do.
He created a sex bot basically just to abuse.
Yes, multiple.
Which is one of the most evil things I've ever seen. But, like, specifically this
Yes.
one, he's not trying to do anything like he is with Ava, where he's trying to create this new level of consciousness.
No, it's just to serve him.
And to be abused, which is monstrous.
I also want to point out the fact that I think it's where you point out he builds the other sex bots just to abuse, but Ava to study.
Yeah.
Ava is a robot, and he could make these robots look like anything he wants. Ava she's not a person.
No,
but she looks, without knowing she's a robot, and without seeing the like weird mechanical, really awesome CGI stuff.
Yeah, it looks really
good. But
good.
if you didn't see that, if that was all, and when it's all covered, she just looks like a white woman.
Yeah.
But the sex bots are
exotic.
There are Asian women. There's one that's black, but her head isn't there. And that's like the most like evil one. Was he literally ripped its fucking face off?
That is.
So it's like that's like
I didn't like catch that, but that's a really good point where he's the fetishization. He has a line earlier in the movie where he's talking about to Caleb, and he's talking about fetishes. The example he uses is black chicks.
He does.
And it culminates in something I've always thought about with this movie, where I'm like, Ava is an antagonist in this movie at the end.
I think antagonist is a good word.
Exactly. I don't know her capacity for evil, but I think whatever antagonism she has, whatever dark side of her there is almost exclusively from Nathan.
Yes. I think the reason she ends up being the antagonist is all because of the way she was built and programmed and the choices she has.
But not even
because of Nathan.
Just built and programmed. Also, what she has seen.
Yes.
Like what she is learning actively. Everything Nathan has done has proved, I guess, in her mind that nobody is to be trusted. Which is why at the end, she winds up locking Caleb basically to his own death, knowing he's going to die.
But what other choice? Like,
and
okay,
I think
Caleb said, "Oh, I'm gonna save you, and we're gonna go off." How does she? Caleb, and Nathan mentions this. Caleb is the only man she's met outside of Nathan. How does she know Caleb isn't also going to use that power against her?
Exactly. So I think while
she has no reason to trust him. Like what? Because he says he's a nice guy. Like I'm sure like a lot of people have heard that and gotten hurt.
I can tell you they have.
In an almost human way, you can't really blame her.
I do think the damning Caleb to death thing is a villainous thing to do. It's this thing in...
I think it can be villainous, but still you can understand why.
Because everything she has learned is about how these people are not to be trusted and things you can manipulate and use, which is, I think, comes from Nathan.
I think it also, and this is probably, I don't know if this is a question that could ever be fully answered. There's also the question when talking about like Caleb and her, would Caleb have been as interested in saving her if he also wasn't emotionally and romantically and physically attracted?
Yeah, that's 100%
sort of
a
that
part of it.
Nice guy stereotype.
Did he save her because he's attracted to her, which we learn from Nathan, she was literally designed to be attractive to him. Which is, again, another wickedly evil thing.
Really creepy.
Yeah. Or is it because it's a genuine thing to do? And either way, how does Ava know the difference? And another thing, Nathan's kind of got this voyeuristic streak in this movie, doesn't he? Where we talked about how he spied on the world, basically.
Yes.
He has... Yes. He knows Caleb's fucking search history like the back of his hand, so much so that he was able to create an android that is perfectly compatible with him. He also watches their meetings in a very voyeuristic way with those cameras, to the point when he sees when he learns that the cameras are being shut off during the outages, he puts his own camera in there again. Like, he has a voyeurism streak
Yes.
here.
He also, like, he takes, like, a certain pleasure out of
Yeah.
it. Like, he wants to know all the nitty-gritty details. Even more so when he knows for a fact that there is a connection. That goes into, like, his lack of connection. Because I feel like if you had a connection with people, you would understand that they have a right to, like, privacy.
But it doesn't matter
because,
for
like,
him.
he doesn't connect with people. He doesn't have that.
Nathan
Exactly.
understands the concept of privacy. There are rooms that Caleb cannot go in, that he is locked out of. He understands that. The reason he gives for not getting the sex bot to be able to understand English is for his privacy. He understands privacy, he just doesn't believe it should extend to anyone else.
He gets the exception.
Yes.
Because he is a god.
Exactly. Both Caleb and Nathan's isolation and loneliness is what Ava kind of uses against them.
When you think about it, like, you can't really blame her.
No, there's...
Fully.
She's a complex character.
I don't really blame.
There is a part of me that's kind of like, you know, good for you, girl. You go, girl. But she does, like, go out of her way to manipulate Caleb, knowing she can do so. She uses Caleb throughout this, knowing what she's doing, and then kind of damns him to death when she doesn't need him anymore. But again, this kind of comes from a perspective of, like, what does she think humanity is if all she's met is Nathan?
All she knows of humanity is Nathan.
I think Nathan looking down upon the world also kind of rubs off on Ava. The second she's got what she needs out of Caleb, she doesn't ever really, like, think about him again.
Not really.
Like, she rather coldly locks him in without really, like, acknowledging him. She acknowledges him once where she just tells him to wait there and assumes he'll listen, because why wouldn't he listen to her? And he does, in a way. But I think...
because she knows he's wrapped around her finger.
And I also think it's like, oh, I don't even have to worry about this guy. He's so far beneath me. And I think that also comes just from watching Nathan.
Kind of like an I am doomed to be my father's daughter type of thing.
Yeah, without even realizing it. Like, Nathan is so damning, he kind of brings everything down to his level. This whole movie is Nathan's fault, basically. Ava uses Caleb's loneliness to, like, be able to manipulate him into doing the shit she wants. Nathan is so goddamn lonely, he just invites a dude to his island and seems genuinely excited just to hang out with a guy who's not a robot.
You have Nathan, who's a complete sociopath, who doesn't, like, talk to anybody. He doesn't really understand how humanity works. He doesn't care.
I was going to say, I don't think he thinks about humanity.
He doesn't think about it at all. He thinks of himself as above it. But then you have Caleb, who's almost the same guy that we mentioned, not as pathetic, but
he's similar to Theodore.
Where he's so lacking in a companion, he turns to, like, a robot that, like, he met, like, a couple days ago for, like, a girlfriend.
And someone that...
And it's like...
Nathan literally looks at him and says, like, don't think with your dick here, man.
If we're taking these three characters, with everything we've been debating back and forth about Ava's motivations, about what they consist of, it's ironically the most human out of all of these.
Right.
That, like, you have these two people that are human, but because they lack so much connection, it's so cold and sterile.
Well, is Ava's connection genuine?
Her moral grayness is so complex, and, like, there's certain parts where it's like you can critique her, but also
where you understand.
Like, understand where she's going from. And that's so deeply human.
She's just as complex as humanity. And I like that we never see what she wants. Does she go into humanity to destroy humanity? Or is she just trying to assimilate?
Or is she just trying to escape?
Yeah.
She just wants to be left alone.
Who knows?
She thinks of them like the pigeons in New York.
Yeah.
I think also when you're in a situation when you're faced with somebody like Nathan, I do think it's a very human response to just, like,
do whatever you have to do.
My goal is to survive.
Yeah. What if Nathan had showed this connection beforehand? Would would Ava have always turned to be this? Or was it because of her upbringing around Nathan and everything that she was kind of damned to it? So yeah, that takes us through our journey of emotional and artificial connection through some two wildly different tonal movies. At the end of all these episodes, we like to pose a question. So the one I wrote was, do you think that humanity will ever be able to properly connect with artificial intelligence? And if we can, is that a good thing?
I feel like we would immediately get cases like
Right.
where people, I mean, we already kind of are.
But the thing is, I don't think people
In a
right now
way.
properly can. And I don't know that that's ever
But
going to
I
happen.
also think, like, with what little we have, like, people already, like, I remember, like, I knew people that, like, would go on, like, the AI character chats, and they would immediately start, like, gooning the fuck out
Right.
with, like...
But again, this then comes from, like, what is, the way we refer to artificial intelligence right now isn't even how they refer to artificial intelligence in Ex-Machina. The way they describe it is being able to talk to something without realizing you're talking to an artificial intelligence. Right now, I feel like 99% of the time, we know. And I don't know that it's ever going to get to the point where we won't know. Although we've seen some, like, scary shit, I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where we can have an honest, genuine conversation with a sort of artificial intelligence, where it is thinking for itself and not just have being trained on the thoughts of others. I would like our pledge this episode to be, because I guess that's a thing we do now.
What's our pledge?
Hey, let's go talk to some people in person this week. And I don't just mean Ashton and myself. Whoever watches this too, go talk to someone. Go talk to the gas station attendant or whatever. Just make some sort
Go to your local library.
Local libraries. Thanks for coming to our video, talking about some artificial connection. Don't forget to go outside, maybe make a new friend or two, and Ash,
make an unartificial connection.
Make an artificial connection. That's what we stand for here. And Ashton, thanks for hanging out.
It's been a ride.
Perhaps one too many. I've been KJ Collelo.
I'm Ashton Byrne, and this is Luna.
Bella ciao, folks.
Bella ciao.